Hello, I'm Key and I'm trying something new for the new year. So before I go into talking about my art goals, I want to give a bit of context for the recording in the background. I recently bought a new tablet and I was just testing out sketching in first FireAlpaca, the second clip is Photoshop, and then the third clip is Clip Studio Paint, and it's actually my first time actually using Clip Studio Paint. For FireAlpaca, that's what I was using a couple years back. I already had some custom brushes, so I was just getting reacquainted with those. Photoshop, I already had some packs downloaded, so I was testing those out as well. And then Clip Studio Paint, I was just using some of the default brushes. So as for talking about my art goals, first I wanted to reflect on the goals that I had kind of set at the beginning of 2020, and then talk about the goals I want to set for this upcoming year. So some of the goals I set for 2020 were to work on details and accuracy, mostly through studies. I did do a lot of studies, usually portraits, so I think that I learned a lot about skin tones and skin tone mixing, especially in watercolor, but I don't think that I got that good at painting details and painting accurately. I also wanted to do more color comps and planning and just do more full-on illustrations. I would say that I did do some of this towards the later half of the year, but I still have much further that I can go with that. Additionally, I wanted to work on just being more mindful and being more precise and more decisive as well. So working on mark making, working on intent in painting. I don't know. I think I got better, but I still think that I have a lot more that I can work on in this area. And then last two were working on head angles and working at a larger scale. So head angles being, learning to draw faces not at 3/4 or looking straight forward or side profiles. Again, I think I got better, but there's still lots of room for improvement. I'm drawing at a larger scale because I tend to draw like really tiny faces. I do think that I got a bit better, but again, like these other ones, I don't think that I had enough time and energy that I invested in these to fully accomplish them. As for my art goals for 2021, I want to get better at gouache. I'm not that good at it. I've been trying really hard, but I just can't get the consistency right, and it's driving me insane, but I'll work on it. I also want to get back into digital art, hence the painting in the background. And I think that I've reached a point where I understand that art for me is kind of a hobby rather than something I would be able to do every single day. So I think that I can become more comfortable with the idea of doing digital art casually instead of putting lots of pressure on myself. Additionally, I want to work more on environments because I've been drawing for years and years, and I'm still so bad at environments. Same thing with clothing. Clothing folds, I've done studies recently, and I'm getting better, but I'm really just not where I want to be when it comes to art. Additionally, I want to try to maybe do like an illustration per month. That was kind of a goal that I had set for last year as well, but I really didn't have the energy and time to do it. But maybe I can do that this year, especially if I'm doing more digital art, because for me, digital art tends to be faster. Another one is just to do less fan art and do more original art, perhaps get into character design, because all my characters have super boring designs. Oh, who is walking down the stairs? Great, thank you. Another goal relevant to what just happened is that I want to get better at audio mixing such that my voice is not super quiet and I can potentially get rid of any background noise that's going on. That would help because I think somebody's playing music and somebody's walking down the stairs and walking around everywhere and it's just probably got like steel-toed boots on. I don't know what's happening. Additionally, I want to get better at kind of understanding my workflow and getting a better sense of the amount of time it takes me to complete something, as well as getting a better sense of my patience and how easily my mood changes, and see whether I can. Basically, I tend to get really bored of a piece if I wait more longer than like a week or 2 weeks, and then I'm not as interested in the idea. So if I figure out like, okay, I need to finish a piece within 3 days, I need to finish it within like a week, then I think that I'd be able to produce more art that I like. And patience also leads to like allowing myself the time that I need to put in details and do the hair properly and render out the clothes properly and all that jazz. And additionally, I don't know if I mentioned this, I want to work on getting better at composition because I don't usually put enough time into it. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and we'll hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.